Hey folks, let's jump straight into the intro. This time we're going to have drop D tuning, so just tune your top E string down to D, so down a tone, and all the rest stay the same. Now for our very intro, we have all these little fills, so let's quickly go through them. So we're going to do a pinched harmonic in the 2nd fret G, come in with our bar, then just play the 5th fret on the E and the A bend, and 3rd fret. Do a pick slide. Then slide, we're just going to do an up on the 7th fret on the B, G and D. Then play 17 on the G bend 2 times. Come back to the 5th fret, again E and A bend. Then we're just going to trill between the 2nd fret and the open, so just hammering on and pulling off on the G string, but we're going to touch the string down here and get the harmonics there as well. You have to have a lot of gain on to get that right. Then we have the 5th fret on the D and the G. Pick slide again. Then we're just hitting the harmonics on the 7th fret and the 5th fret. So just hitting our finger on, and then we have 2nd fret on the E, 2nd fret on the D and the G. They're the little fills at the intro. Now let's go to the actual guitar part. So we're starting with a slide, then play the D power chord back to C, up to D again, and then do another slide. So we have. Then go to B, slide up to C, so 1 fret. Play C again, slide back to B. So do that again, B, slide up to C. C, slide back to B, and then we're going to pull off to the open. So we're pulling off to the open A there, so slowly. Then we have 5th fret on the E and the A, 3rd fret E and A, 5th fret E and A, so. Then 5th fret on the E and the A again, hammer on to the 7th fret E and A, and then the 3rd fret E and A. And then we just repeat that all again, just leave out the slide at the start for the 2nd time. So it's going to be the same as our intro, we're just leaving out the slide. So we've still got our D, C, D. This time do a palm mute, or just a mute down up. And then our B to C, C to B, B to C, C to B to A, and then our 5 on the E and A, 3, 5, 5, 7, 3. Do that 3 times, and then the 4th time the start stays the same again. This time we're going to go E and A, 5, 3, 5, 3, pull off to open. And that's our verse C. So this time we're starting 5 on the E and the A, then play 5 on the D, do a mute, and 3 on the D. 5 E and A again, 5 D, and then do 3, bend, pull off to the open on the E. So slowly. Repeat the first bit again, 5 E and A, 5 D, mute 3. This time go 5 E and A, and then 5 A and D, do a bend on the 3rd fret E, play the open E and A, do 5 on D and G, slide up to 7, back to 5 D and G, 7 D and G and B, and then do an up on 7 on the D, 5 on the A, open E, then play the open E and A again, 5, slide up to 7, D and G, bend on the 3rd fret A, and then 5th fret, 3rd fret E, bend and pull off to open. So from the E there, it's a little confusing. Go back to the first one again. Second one. This time do 3 on the E, bend, pull off to open. Then just play 3 on E, A and D. Palm mute 2 times. Do it again. Palm mute 2 times. And again, and then just move up to the 5th fret, E, A and D, and 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do that part slowly for it's quite confusing. And that's our pre-chorus there. So our chorus is pretty easy. We just start with a D, then play 5th fret E, A and D, 3rd fret E, A and D, back to 5th fret E, A and D, back to our D. Then we're going to do a trill between 3 and 5, so hammer on and pull off and touch the string there, the A string. Then bend 3rd fret E, open, then we repeat again D, back to the 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, and finish on the D there. And that's our first chorus. Then we do our verse, and that's exactly the same. Then we have our pre-chorus. Now this is all the same except when we go to the E, we're going to play same start. Go to the 3 bends, that's all the same as before, and then just play 5, 3, A on the E, 5, 3, pull off to E there. So that's the only change there, the rest stays the same. From there we go back to the chorus, and that's the same again. So for our solo rhythm, we're going to do a slide and our D, C, D, and the next time do 2 mutes, and then our D, C, D, then do 2 mutes again, play the open E in the 5th fret A, and then our D, C, D. Next one, do a slide, 2 mutes, and then D, C, D. Do another slide, we're going to play the open E, then palm mute the open E, 2nd fret E, palm mute, 2nd fret, 3rd fret E, palm mute, 3rd fret, 4th fret E, palm mute, 4th fret. So then we're going back to a similar riff to our pre-chorus. 5 on the E and A, 5 mute, 3 on D, 5 E and A, 5 on the D. Do that again. Then we're going to go 5 on the E, pull off to 3, pull off to the open. 5 on the A, mute to 3. Then do 3, bend on the A, go back to 3, E, bend, open. 5 on the A, mute, 3 on the A. Then just play a D power chord. Then we're going back to E and A, 5, 5 D, mute, 5, 3. 5 E and A, 5 D. Back to 5 E and A, 5 mute 3, 5 E and A, 5 D, then go 3, bend on the E to an A, Then we're going to come up to 4 on the D, 7 on the G, play that. Slide up to 9 on the D, 12 on the G, but do a palm mute on the 10A first. Then we come back, do a palm mute on the 5 and repeat that again. So. And that's our solo rhythm there, and we'll do our solo at the end. So again, it's similar to our pre-chorus again, 5E and A, 5D, mute to 3, 5E and A, 5D, 3E, pull off to the open, back to 5E and A, 5D, mute to 3, 5E and A, 5D, 3E, pull off to the open, and then we're just playing 3 E, A and D to 5 E, A and D. And that gets us ready for the next chorus. So for our next chorus, it's going to be the same, except we're going to start with this trill on 5 and 7, and this is playing while the singing's going there. So trill 5, 7 on the A string. And our chorus stays the same. D, 5 E, A and D, 3 E, A and D, 5 E, A and D, back to our D, 3 pull off to the open on the E, and do that 2 times. Then we have this little outro riff. We're just going to repeat that there to the end. So we're going to do 5, 7 and 7. So we're D power chord, 2 mutes, D power chord, D again, play the open E, and then 5 E, A and D, 2 palm mutes, 5 again, 2 palm mutes, 5 again, open E to 3 on E, A and D, 2 palm mutes, 2 mutes, 3 again, come up to the 5th, 2 mutes, 5 to our D, and then E string 3, 5, 3, and then we're just repeating again up to our 3. So. And that's all the rhythm parts. Now let's do the solo. So we're going to start with the open G, use your bar there, do a slide, then we're going to play open E, 3rd fret open on the E string, 3rd on the A, 5 on the E, 3 on the D, 5 on the A. And do that again. Then we're going to come up to the B string, do 10, slide up to 13, slide back to 7, and then 7, slide up to 10, and do that 2 times. And then play the open B string, hammer onto 10, so we play hammer onto 10, hammer onto 13, pull off to 10, pull off to the open, and then 10 on the G string with a slight bend. So. Then we're coming back to the D string, 6 hammer onto 7, 5 on the G, and do that 3 times. And then we're just doing 7, pull off to 5, pull off to the open on the G, D, 7, pull off to 5, pull off to the open, and then 3. So. Then we're jumping up to the E string, we're going to bend 12, play 12, 10, then do the same on the B string, 12, bend, 12, 10, and then bend on the 12E. Then just bend 12 on the E, bend and release, pull off to 10. Do the same on the B, and then play 12G. Then we're going to bend on 13 on the E. We're going to do it 6 times. Then we bend again, release, pull off to 10, play 13B, 13E, 13B, 10E, and then do a bend on 13B. So then we're coming back to the D string, 3, slide to 5, and G 2 times open. And do that 2 times. Then 3, slide up to 5, 3 on the A. Do the first one again, 3, slide to 5, open G, 3, slide to 5. Just play the open G once and then go back to 5 on the D. So. Then we're going to do a trill between 10 and 13 on the B. So we're just hammering on a pull off, but start with your bar in, let it come out, and do it 3 times. So we're in, and then just bend on 13B. And then we're doing E, 10 pull off to 8, B, 10 pull off to 8, back to E, 10 pull off to 8, back to B, 10 pull off to 8, slide to 6, bend on 8, release back to 6. Then we've got these octave chords. We're going to slide from the 5 on the D and the 8 on the B, slide up to 7 and 10. And play the 7 and 10 4 times and do that again. So 2 times. The third time do it again and slide up to 10 and 13. Then we go back, do the same again, 5s and 8, slide up to 7 and 10, 4 times there. Then come up to 10 and 13, 4 times there. Then move up to 12 and 15, 2 times, 14 and 17, 2 times, 15 and 18, 16 and 19, and finish on 17 and 20 there. So. And there are all the parts there. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed Lay Your Hands on Me Guitar Lesson by Bon Jovi. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you love your 80s glam, metal and rock, jump onto my YouTube channel for hundreds more songs, and I'll see you soon.